Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome to some more Escape from Tarkov. Now, this is the video where I'll tell you everything you need to know about the game, and then you can decide if the game is going to be for you. Now, one thing to keep in mind before you get into the game and you go ahead and make that purchase, it is an alpha stage game. Lots of bugs, lots of things like that, they're not going to work, lots of character wipes. I mean, one character wipe just happened the other day, so whatever loot you sort of scavenged and you got out of the raid with, you will lose all that loot and you'll sort of start all over again. Your level's going to get reset, so you're back to level 0, level 1 or whatever it is, and that's pretty much it. Now, a lot of the times the AIs will shoot you through walls, they'll do all sorts of weird stuff, but that's always going to happen in the alpha stages, and you'll see this one is a bit of a weird sort of gun and knife fight. I mean, I should be dead, he should be dead, because I swiped him a couple of times with that knife, but in the end, the only one thing I could say is winner, winner, chicken dinner. That's all there is. So you get as much loot as you can carry, and then you move on. Now, what's the whole point of Escape from Tarkov? What do I do? Now, everything's called a raid. You go ahead and join something. Like this time around, I'm joining the factory. There's 3 different maps you can choose from. There's factory, woods, and also customs. Now, all have different strengths, different things we can do with them. This time around, we'll just focus on the factory. Inside the factory, you'll start as one of the 2 factions that are available in the game. You'll start either as the PMC, or you'll start as the Bear. Now, it doesn't really matter who you start off. At the end of the day, the point is that you need to be shooting everybody, and you need to shoot the AI, get as much loot as you can carry, and escape the raid by reaching one of the extraction zones. Now, there are a couple of extraction zones in each different map, and you will be able to extract most of that nice loot that you found. Now, once you got yourself enough loot and you think, well, that's kind of it for me, I'm good enough, I came in with a knife, or I came in with a pistol, I've got myself a shotgun, maybe I've got an AK, I've got something else that I found throughout the map, it's time for me to extract. You can do that at any point you want. You don't have to go ahead and start being the last man standing or anything like that, so it's not really a battle royale if you sort of think of it. There is survival elements to the game where you have to find food and you have to find drink to keep you sort of hydrated and well fed and things like that. There is a bit of a battle royale sort of thing to it as well, if that sort of makes sense to you, because you have a certain amount of players that join that server, so technically you could stay to the end and see this through by killing all the AIs and all the players and everything like that. So technically, I mean, you can call it a battle royale. The only sort of difference, the major difference is that you can escape whenever you want to, as long as you're happy with what you've got. Now, you can decide to go inside and take out as much loot as you can, well, as much as you can carry, and then just escape. Now, remember that by going inside with a weapon in your primary sort of inventory slot, if you do die in the raid, you will lose that weapon. Now, you can't come back and reconnect on the same server. That weapon is gone, so you'll have to come back into it again. Once you got enough loot, in this particular case, I got the AK, I've got a shotgun, I've got all sorts of loot, some bags, some armor, all that good stuff, so I'm just going to go ahead and get to the extraction, and then that's it. Once I've extracted, I get to keep everything I had, plus I get tons of XP. Now, the XP doesn't actually work just yet, because you can upgrade your character, stamina, power, toughness, things like that, but you can't really do that. Now, on the right side is all the loot that you sort of start with a little bit, and when it gets a bit more unorganized, this is basically what I got at in the sort of couple hours that I played earlier this morning. Now, lots of weapons, lots of attachments, lots of things for you to sort of try and play around with, lots of ammo. You will have lots of things, and you will find that lots of players decide to go in with a knife rather than go in with anything else. Mostly, you'll see them going in with a pistol because you're risking that one particular weapon if you do end up dying. Now, the AIs, like I said, they do aimbot and they do shoot through walls and things like that and around corners, but that's to be expected. So a lot of them are sort of deterred by not going in with a primary weapon. But if you really want to do that, you can do that yourself. There's nothing stopping you from playing the game however you want to. If you really decide that you want to go in balls deep, everything tactical about you, or weapon, secondary weapon, and all that sort of stuff, you could do that. Night vision goggles, everything you can possibly think of, you can go with. But you just run the risk of losing that particular loot if you end up dying. Now, another thing is, if you do end up losing all your loot and you lose all your weapons and everything like that, once a day, if you get below 20,000 rubles, I think it is, you will get another 50,000, so you get to buy certain things. So if you played it for a couple hours, you've lost all your loot, you go ahead and get some more money, and that's that. You just go ahead and rebuy certain things. There is a trading system in the game where you can buy certain things, and then that's that. You'll just go ahead and have new weapons, and you can start all over again. I think that kind of meant that I'm friendly, let's team up, but I kind of saw that a bit too late, and I just went in, swiped it with a knife once, and died, so my bad there. There is a few players who will try to team up with you. I mean, at the end of the day, you can really team up with somebody and just get as much loot as you can without shooting each other. There's going to be players out there that you can still shoot and take all his loot and take all his good stuff that he has. And you can, the both of you can escape. Now, there is also a party system in the game where you can, once you get into the main menu of the game and you start looking for a session to join, then you can just right-click on somebody and invite him to the party, or he can do the same to you, and you've been invited to his party, you go ahead and join it, and you'll start the same raid together. Now, the thing is, you won't actually have any kind of icon or anything above his head to let you know that that's my teammate, I shouldn't be shooting him, so you will need comms, you'll need Skype, you'll need TeamSpeak, or whatever sort of Discord, or whatever you use in these days to be able to use comms effectively. Otherwise, you'll end up shooting your friend in the back, and then that's that. Now, like I said, the whole point and the whole goal to escape from Tarkov is to take out as many people as you can, take as much loot as you can possibly carry, and just escape. That's the whole point of the game, and that's what you need to do. Now, the plans for the future are that this game is going to grow. There's not going to be any sort of offline raiding or anything like that. So if single-player raiding is the name of the game, and that's what you're looking for, then it's probably not going to be in there. As much as I can gather for now is that this is just there so they can stress test the servers and things like that, just see how everything works, and then it's not going to be any of that. Now, the thing is, eventually, when this game is going to get to the beta stages, when it's going to get to sort of the open beta and things like that, where things have progressed, and I expect this to be taking some time, it's probably going to take 6 months before this game is in a good beta stage where more of the map is going to be unlocked, more sort of areas, more players and things like that. I mean, the most players I've seen so far on any of the maps available so far, I've seen actually 20 because I've only just really played this. I've tried the other maps just once or twice in the sort of single player aspect of the game, but mostly for the multiplayer I've just tried the factory. So I have seen 20 players together, and I think 20 players is quite a lot when it comes down to this, but I do hear rumors that eventually the whole map is going to be open and it's going to be 64 players. Open world, lots of things for you to do, lots of extractions, lots of loot, lots of things for you to get into. And if you're thinking squad, if you're thinking armor, if you're thinking sort of realistic sims and how much details, and there's a lot of detail in this game, and the amount of modding that you could do to your weapon, and we'll cover that in a different video, and the amount of stuff that you could do to the weapon is just unbelievable how much sort of detail is put into the game. So I'm really looking forward to sort of the whole map being open. There's a bit of the map that's open right now, which is factory, woods, and customs. But as you can see, the map itself is pretty big, and I think 64 players, story-driven narrative, you know, lots of options, lots of loot, lots of things for you to do in the game, plenty of ways for you to have some fun. I think this is going to be awesome when it gets there. So that's it for me for today. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video. If I missed something, don't worry, I'll be covering that in the next video. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.